Get ready for unlimited country music network. Subscribe directly to your Vizio TV.
Hey, Jason, did you notice that James was whistling Watermelon Crawl a lot now? So,
I don't want to watch Miracle on 34th Street again. It's April.
wow.
What prompted that song, Jason?
I think it was just, I know Jeff loves that song. He's a closet Billy Idol fan, actually. And Jeff at least knows 4 of his songs. But
So Moni Moni,
yep.
Eyes Without a Face,
Yeah.
White Wedding.
Yeah, that's right.
And I don't know a third or fourth.
I do.
Ooh, I'd have to think. Yeah, go ahead, James.
Rock the Cradle of Love.
Oh
song?
yeah, Cradle of Love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very underrated artist, but yeah. It's kind of weird when he goes, "God no human grace, your eyes without a face." You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah. By the way, I think we might have to pay royalties on. I don't know how does that work?
Sir, Billy Idol, if you are listening, we'd really appreciate to utilize 2 lines of lyrics from your masterpiece, Eyes Without a Face.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the risk is if you use enough to where it's distinct, or I don't know what the right word is, but it's distinguishable as his song, then are you, I guess if you're monetizing it in any way, then you are responsible for paying some kind of royalty, correct?
I believe you're right. That's exactly what if you charge money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems like only if we played like his performance of it, right? Or if we perform the song.
Yeah. So James, you're going to need to fire up the old whatever you've got. You've got is that a sitar made out of eucalyptus leaves? What do you got there? Me? Yeah. It's a joke, obviously.
Oh, okay.
If someone knew where to get a sitar made out of eucalyptus leaves, yes,
it's pronounced keytar.
Keytar.
I do have a keytar, actually.
No, you don't.
Of course, I do.
No.
You want to see it?
Yes, you actually have a keyboard guitar, a keytar.
Yeah. One second.
No, we're gonna see, or we're gonna hear.
Jason, what have we done?
Oh no. Here goes.
All
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen, James and his keytar. Oh, you're no.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's amazing.
It's got a guitar. I think it's got a guitar noise. Let's see.
So
I don't know how to do the buttons.
Does it have a strap? Like, do you wear it like a regular guitar, or how does it work?
I don't know the buttons. Obviously, I played it. Oh, here it goes. 024. What?
Oh my gosh. Is he programming a heart rate monitor or is he?
Wait, but now you're playing it backwards, right?
I don't know. Obviously, I'm not playing it enough. I should probably just. Yeah.
The poor guy who accidentally.
One question. I see a bright yellow, what looks like a Goodwill looking sticker on that thing.
No.
What's that yellow sticker? Where's that from?
It says warning. Please only use the charger included in the box. If you use more than a 5-volt charger, it will cause smoke to the unit.
No.
You know, it's like, man, that guy is really good at keytar. It's smoking.
Fire.
Nope, he used the wrong adapter.
It's his wish.com keytar.
Yes.
I haven't reordered from Temu, but I did order. We talked about Temu a long time ago, but I'm starting to see some good stuff coming from Temu. But I haven't bought anything yet. So
Temu?
Is it Temu?
Good stuff is in the eye of the beholder,
or in the eyes without a face.
That was a good.
We can use Billy Idol though if it's fair use. Like if we talk about, I don't know enough about Billy Idol to say. So maybe to compare, like, did Billy Idol predate Bowie's like Let's Dance? Because that's the other like kind of. And then also with Bowie, you've got what's his name? Nile Rodgers.
No, I think you're saying that. Well, we'll come back to Nile Rodgers. He's very, very interesting and very prolific. But I think the Idol Let's Dance certainly came after. It would have had to come after the Bowie Let's Dance, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But White Wedding, I think, came at maybe 83, 84. I don't know, like which one came first. But obviously, I mean, no stranger. I think Bowie probably artistically, creatively preceded Idol. And that's not a slight against Idol. It's like, hey, arguably they were both popular enough.
Sure.
Now it sounds like I'm rude. But, you know, I like Billy Idol's stuff. I just, you know, in terms of 80s rock, I probably would go for what's his name, Rick Astley over Rick Idol, Barry Idol.
Barry Idol? Who's Barry Idol?
Or wait,
Barry Idol. We got.
Yeah. Hold on. Was there some alternative substance on the keytar?
You know, Barry Idol. He's Billy's brother, and then there's Billy Manilow, who's Barry's brother.
Who was
everybody confuses them? Excellent duos table tennis team. I don't know how they did so well.
Man.
Wow.
Barry Idol, what the heck?
Right next to Frank Stallone.
There's an interesting Frank Stallone documentary that I watched on, I think, Hulu or Freevee. It's really good, actually.
Yeah.
You know, because everyone's heard of it, right? Everyone's heard of this documentary of Not Sly's brother. You had to go to Freevee or Hulu. It's like the Wendy's of subscription TV services, you know?
What's wrong with Wendy's? Wendy's is just fine. Okay.
Did you see that Walmart bought the Vizio TV maker? Like they bought it outright. It's pretty nuts.
Didn't they already sell Vizio TVs?
Walmart did sell it, but the reason why they bought it is because they see it as like a platform. People already have Vizio TVs, so they could say, hey, well, like now you can move over to...
Oh, like the Walmart network?
Yeah, something like that, which is interesting, but I have a Vizio TV, so I'm also a little like, you know, freaked out a little bit about it, but we'll see.
Get ready for Unlimited Country Music Network. Subscribe directly to your Vizio TV.
Oh, man.
I don't want to see any more Joe Diffie videos.
From Joe Diffie to Joe D. Messina.
Yeah. Wow.
That's right.
All the Joes.
How many Tanya Tucker albums did she actually release? Well, James would know because he's got CMN streaming constantly.
I do. CMT. Country Music Television.
Yeah.
So Jason, if I understand you correctly, your theory is that if Walmart leverages this Vizio TV purchase to make a Walmart network a la, Prime Video, is that just like having to watch an ad on YouTube or somewhere else before you can watch a video, you have to watch a late 80s, early 90s country video.
Have you seen Chattahoochee by Alan Jackson?
Right. It's like, hey, Jason, did you notice that James is whistling Watermelon Crawl along a lot now? So
I don't want to watch Miracle on 34th Street again. It's April.
Wow.
Why is this Garth Brooks song unskippable?
I didn't realize they had 11 seasons of Walker, Texas Ranger, but yet here we are.
But you're only watching them 30 seconds at a time because it's what you have to watch to get to the next program.
We get a call and they say, now up on the Vizio platform, the Smokey and the Bandit Marathon. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. But then by the third time he's calling in, well, Bandit. And you're like, oh, okay, we're done. We're done.
Do you think they would have ever done like Smokey and the Bandit in space? You know, like, so if you think about just the evolution. So, because it's like
Fast and the Furious.
Right. Fast and Furious. But I was thinking more like Police Academy.
Oh,
right.
Oh, yeah.
Or Ernest.
Ernest. Right. Ernest goes to, there was a space Ernest,
Mars.
Right? Ernest goes to,
yes. Ernest goes to space. I believe there was. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Ernest goes to Walmart. Hey, Vern, let me tell you about these Vizio TVs. Sorry, Jim
great.
Varney.
You only got one low fee per month for the full unlimited channel usage.
Oh my
I think
gosh.
the late Jim Varney, right?
He's
rest in peace.
Yeah.
Also known as the best Slink of all time from Toy Story. Oh man.
Oh, he was Slinky, right?
Originally before he passed. And so,
and then Blake, the comedian Blake, the person who was on Home Improvement, the grunty guy, not Tim Allen.
You're talking about
Blake,
the guy eyes without a face. Basically, he's or voice without a face, right?
Barry.
He's
kidding.
the
What was his name? The neighbor, right?
Oh no, not Wilson. Not Earl
Wilson.
Hindman.
Oh, okay.
Of course, I know that. I think his name is Blake something.
Well, you're not talking about Richard Kind, right? Richard Kind was
Richard Karn.
Karn. Oh, not Kind.
Blake Clark.
Richard Kind is Blake Clark. Thank you.
He's a water boy. Yeah,
that guy.
Yeah. He became Slinky. Okay.
Yeah. Slinky part.
Okay. Farmer Fred. Farmer Fran or Farmer Fred, right? That's
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I flashed on something just now, and maybe it ties back to something, Jeff, because you lived in Los Angeles for what, like 18 years almost, or how long? 2003?
18 years. How old do you think I am?
No. You moved there in 2004 or 5? When did you move there?
04.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you're in Dallas now, so you moved back to Dallas in 2020 or?
Yeah. Okay. I guess 16 years. Yeah.
Yeah, carry the one. It's a leap year. Give me a pass.
Well, we remember the detour moving back to Houston. So, but that was only, right. But Houston was, I guess, technically what, March through like September. So,
okay. When you lived in Los Angeles, you were technically around like scenery that was like kind of famous. So what I mean is like you could watch a movie and say, oh, like they filmed that at Griffith Observatory or whatever, or near the Hollywood sign. So you sometimes when you watch a movie, you can recognize maybe sometimes where they filmed it.
Absolutely.
And I think the only notable thing when we were kids growing up, I think they filmed Powder in our like
they
community.
Did in our, yep.
And then also Postcards from the Edge or something like that, or another movie.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah,
I don't know. There's another movie that's out there. Rushmore, of course, was filmed in Houston, and then of course, like what's the other one? Like Eve's Bayou or something like that. Jason's Lyric, one of those movies. But I'm saying all that because do you ever, like, now that I live in Minnesota, the only notable movies that we have that were filmed here were like the Mighty Ducks movies. And nobody's like, oh, that was filmed in Minnesota. Most everything in Minnesota, you can film it up in Canada or whatever. But
well, what about like Grumpy Old Men? That wasn't in Minnesota.
No, it was. Yeah. But if you were to say famous Minnesota movies, like the kind of the most notable one would be Mighty Ducks. Most people would say, oh, Mighty Ducks was filmed in Minnesota, and just
what
Los
about
Angeles.
Miracle, the other hockey movie.
I don't know about where that was filmed.
I don't think Miracle was actually filmed there because it's Lake Placid is where it took place. But
I see.
Herb Brooks is from Minnesota, so I don't know. Maybe
and half the team was right because they were all from like Minnesota and Boston.
I think so. Yeah, okay. I don't really remember the premise of that hockey movie. This is where we probably need Dad because this is where Dad knows that movie. He's like, oh, it's great, Dad. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Dad.
But Dad never played hockey.
He never played hockey, but he loves that movie.
Oh,
it's like
Miracle or Mighty Ducks?
Miracle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Would it be great if Dad like loved Mighty Ducks 7 or whatever the last iteration?
Son, go grab me my 99 Bombay jersey. You're like, what, Dad? What?
Okay.
Quack, quack, quack.
You were starting to ask me about, do I remember anything from LA or
more like, do each of us have like, do we watch a movie or a show and it's like, I've seen that because I've watched Mighty Ducks. There's a scene in Mighty Ducks and Mighty Ducks 2 where they basically do a montage and they basically film it at famous Minnesota locations basically. But it's like, it doesn't make, if you follow the logic of like where they actually travel, it's filmed like a montage. So you're going from like, if you're local to Minnesota, this is what's relevant. You're going from like the Mall of America to like downtown Minneapolis to like Richfield to like Minnetonka. It just doesn't make sense. And so what I was curious if either of you have examples of like something you pass by maybe every day or just like, oh, I remember when they filmed this there. And like, oh, that's neat that I got to see, where they filmed this famous scene. Like we're not passing by the Rocky Steps every day. No, nobody's in Philadelphia or whatever, but
the LA references I'll make. So there's quite a few, obviously, because of the, how prolific the film and television business is there. So I would say there's two shows in particular where, if you watch those shows, you can see LA again. I say two shows / movies. So the movie is Collateral. And so if you watch Collateral with
Tom
James,
Cruise.
with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
That was amazing. And you see all parts of LA, including a nightclub. There's a pivotal scene in a nightclub called El Rodeo, which is no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
But Karen, my wife, when she was in college, and a friend went to El Rodeo, and they definitely should not have gone to El Rodeo because that place was intense. There were some hard partiers, and there's always a risk of somebody slipping something into your drink. We will elaborate beyond that, but that was a heavy place to go, and so they went to El Rodeo one time. But Collateral is really cool because you get to see parts of LA. I would say Heat, actually, now that I think about it, also a great Michael Mann film.
Yeah,
has parts of LA. But the TV show, and of course it was filmed in LA, about LA, Southland, and that to me, Southland was one of the best shows. It's in my top 10 of TV shows of all time. Wow. It's about LAPD. It's really, really interesting. And so you see all these spots. The last one that I'll give you before I toss it back to you guys. So Back to the Future, the mall, the Twin Pines Mall, was actually filmed. The exterior shots are from Puente Hills Mall, in actually just close to where I would say 15, 20 minutes tops from where Karen and I used to live.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool because, of course, Back to the Future is an iconic movie. The scene at the mall with the DeLorean is iconic. And so when you see the mall in person, it's cool.
Did we return pants at that mall? That sounds weird, like pivot, but I think I've been to that mall with you. And I think I was I went with you and Karen, and I was in the car and we returned pants. Not the two notable things. This mall, they filmed Back to the Future and we returned pants.
Yeah, I don't think there's a plaque anywhere that says we returned pants. Why would we have returned pants at the mall?
I don't remember.
This is taken a really interesting turn from Marty to, did we return pants at that mall? Just curious. It's like,
I suppose it's possible. I mean, I don't know that I keep a good track of clothing items that I buy and return. And were the pants defective? Like now I'm focused on the pants. Like what was happening with the pants? Were they too tight, too loose? Were they jorts? Were they, what was the,
it's more like,
it was a skirt.
Yeah.
Yes. It was more like, because you're in Los Angeles. And so you're in these notably famous places. So you don't take
I'm talking about the pants. I'm still focused on the pants. What was happening with the pants? I don't remember.
I don't remember. I think it was just if I would have realized that if as a sidebar you said, hey, did you know that this is where they filmed, Back to the Future?
I see.
That's
I'm
what I was thinking.
so glad your inner dialogue decided to make an appearance tonight. I was waiting for it. I'm like, wait, where's it going to be? Okay. Did we return pants there?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Slack to the future?
When did James slacks to the future? That's terrible. That's a penalty for sure.
That is a penalty.
That is a penalty.
You are penalized right now.
Wow. All right. Well, that's enough about LA and Dockers or pants of any kind. Jason, you got any from Colorado or Texas or Minnesota?
I think for Minnesota, I worked at Eden Prairie Center, which is where they film Mallrats.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was, after the renovation that they had done it. And then
you guys have both met Kevin
Smith
and that crew, right? Because you guys were at the premiere of Clerks 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to go. And I remember Danny Trejo, about the nicest human being, talk about Heat.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
he's in Mallrats.
Wow.
Or he's not Mallrats. He's in Clerks 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about
Wow.
a career.
Well, what an interesting thread, not pant related, that we're weaving here. Okay.
And he was one of the nicest guys. Hey, I really appreciate you guys coming out here. It's like, whoa, like you're thanking us? We're here. And then he was in the movie for what, 4.5 seconds?
Yeah.
and he was there treating it, as though he was a contributing member, but like I've heard he's just that level of guy. And I remember because he's got his Trejo's tacos.
Yep.
And I said, I've heard great things about your tacos. He's like, oh, I'd love for you to come by. It'd be really great to have you. It's like, whoa.
Well, I bought one of our California trips in the last year. I went to the donut shop there in LA to Trejo's Donuts, got way too many donuts for just the four of us, for Karen and I and my in-laws. And I bought a Trejo's Trejo's Donuts coffee mug with machete on it, with Danny Trejo.
Yeah.
And so that's one of my coffee mugs. And so I think I spent $100 between like kind of cool novelty donuts and the coffee mug. And Karen was like, please don't spend $100 at a donut shop again. That's not a good use of our resources.
How good were the donuts though? I've heard
the donuts were amazing. No, the donuts were amazing. And they had some really cool flavors and again, the coffee cup itself is a really well-made cup. Like, by the way, we are talking about some fairly innocuous. We're talking about pants and coffee cups.
No,
but
tacos and donuts.
Yeah,
I was tracking with you. I mean, I was into. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to. Next time I have to go to LA, I'm gonna have to go there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's worth the drive. Highly recommend it. 10 out of 10 recommend. So you were saying Eden Prairie, Mallrats. What else?
Was one of them. Obviously, Purple Rain. Right, you get to see First Avenue, which is prominent feature in that particular movie.
And Paisley Park, is it built up around, or is that
at the time Paisley Park didn't exist? It was out remote at that time, and now the city has sort of come to it.
I see.
But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a travesty, if you ask me, that the museum opened up and you can kind of see certain things he didn't want as an artist to be released are just being shot out there out of a cannon. I see. It's like, dead guys merchandise. So I feel not really happy about buying it. Because I just, as an artist, is like, he's probably the most impactful musician for me to have ever listened to.
Yeah. His Super Bowl, I think did we talk about this on a prior call? His halftime show where he's playing Purple Rain in the rain.
Yeah.
Like it started raining in the middle of Purple Rain. Like that was amazing.
Prolific. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And for those that don't know, dog I have, her name is Paisley. So for that exact reason. So,
and didn't you also become friends with his godson? What was I always remember. I always remember Dad told some story about Jason. Jason might go have Thanksgiving at Prince's house, and I'm going.
So it was Prince's brother's house.
Okay.
And yes,
Charlie Murphy to Eddie Murphy, the Charlie Murphy to Prince's. Okay.
He's about the nicest guy you could ever like meet. Super, super sweet. So his real name is Prince Rogers Nelson.
Okay.
But I don't know if he took his dad's name, so his half brother, I believe. Okay. But they're just his brother. Got invited by way of virtual or mutual friends, not virtual friends, mutual friends, and they said, "Hey, you want to come to Thanksgiving with us?" And I was like, "Sure." Just out of gratitude. And then they said, "Yeah, we're going to go to this place, but like try to be cool." And I was like, "Okay, I don't care." And then a friend was just like, "Yeah, by the way, he might make an appearance." I was like, "What? What are you talking about? He might make?" And they said, "Prince." And they go, "What?" And they went, "Yeah." He says, "So just kind of play it cool if he shows up." Well, he didn't show up. So it was fine.
And there you had worn your chaps for no reason.
That's right. I wore my high heels for nothing. All right. I was so mad. I put on my eyeliner. I was on point. I had my hair all curled up and like proper.
You looked like you were part of the new generation, right? Or the next
new power generation. That's right. In PG, I was a part of it.
Okay.
But there was definitely some circumstances that were interesting. Without getting myself in trouble, I would just say the prayer it was one of the funniest things I've ever been involved in for Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
So
that's really cool. Yeah, I always remembered, and I don't know that we ever talked about it, but I was like, wait, did Jason have Thanksgiving with Prince or a member of Prince's family before?
Yeah. I could tell you the carpet in that house was the nicest carpet I have ever seen in any house.
But it wasn't at Prince's house. It was Prince's brother's house.
No, it was his brother's house, but it was a very nice house. But you could tell, like, his brother probably walked in and was like, we got to fix the carpet in this place. And you're like, okay, all right. What do you mean? He's like, I'm going to send a guy over tomorrow. He's going to be here. So just go ahead and make sure all the furniture's off the floor. Okay. All right. Thanks, older brother. I just want you to know this is going to be taken care of. Okay.
You're the only one who can pull off a Prince voice. I think you've got the deepest baritone of all three of us.
Thank you.
I could be wrong, but I believed you as Prince just now.
I appreciate it. It's not a mockery. I mean, for me, I respect, but I just think that's the funniest thing because it definitely wouldn't have been his brother unless his brother was like a owner of a carpet store, which again, plausible because you never know.
He wrote the Empire carpet jingle, actually. Prince did.
No. 800, 588, 200, Empire.
Yep.
Empire
today. And he hit that guitar riff, and they're like, you know what? We're just going to change this to a piano synth, if that's okay, Prince. It's like,
you don't have to be rich to cover my floor, or something like that.
That's pretty good, James.
Yeah,
that's really good. Okay, so Jason, that's sorry we derailed there, but
oh, you're good.
Any other places that kind of memorable there, or Colorado, right? I mean, you've got some Colorado places too, I would imagine.
Well,
right?
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were calling James and I Dumb and Dumber. I thought you were just saying, well, Dumb and Dumber.
Harry, Lloyd, it's time I tell you. No. So people think that it was filmed in Aspen. It wasn't. I mean, parts of it were filmed in California, but the majority of it was filmed in Estes Park. James knows this because James has been there to that hotel. I
just watched it last week as well.
Did you really? Wow.
I did. So it's fresh in my mind, and it's short. Like, believe it or not, like it's shorter than we think. By the time they get to Aspen, quote unquote, there's like 30 minutes left in the movie. Like, that's how short it is.
Oh, you're saying that Colorado, the Aspen part is short, not the whole movie.
Yeah, because you don't expect it to go as fast as it does, but it's great.
So Dumb and Dumber was filmed at the Stanley Hotel. Okay. And the Stanley Hotel was known as the backdrop for The Shining.
So anything else for you, Jason? Or
I don't think so. I mean, I didn't realize that today was movie trivia night. We're going to figure out where the location of the movies being filmed were actually filmed.
All right, James, bring us home, because we wove a pretty good tapestry of pants, coffee, movies, Prince. So what do you got?
The best I have is, and as relevant as it was, is we went to a tournament. I said it really weird. Sorry, tournament. We went to a tournament in downtown Houston. I forget the name of this school, but it was a school, and then I didn't find out until later, but they filmed the movie Rushmore there. The Wes Anderson
would have probably
movie.
Been Bel Air, I think.
No, it was like an independent. Yeah, it was like an independent school, maybe St. Mary's or something. But it was in
by independent. Do you mean a private school?
Yes, independently private.
I see.
That's what they call.
They did, but they did film some portion. They filmed it all around Houston or whatever.
Okay.
What?
James, your phraseology.
It was an independent school.
Yes.
And in the fall time, actually, we prefer to call it the autumn of the year 1998.
Right.
The producers for the movie Rushmore said, we need to find an independent school. And Bill Murray said, do you mean a private school? They say, no. Independent.
As opposed to a
dependent?
Codependent. A codependent.
Codependent school. Exactly.
A codependent school.
Yeah.
We don't belong to a school district. We make our own decisions here.
Yes. We're very independent.
But it was also a tournament that I won a couple of like trophies at. And Jeff, it might have been actually even too when you were, I feel like it was when I was a sophomore, but not when you were, because you wouldn't have been there. But anyway, some of the places where they filmed the movie, I was, I didn't know until after, like long after, that they had filmed it around the same time. So I thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then sometimes I'll pause that movie and be like, oh, I sat there, or I'm not inserting myself into the movie Rushmore, but yeah.
Yeah. And quick note on that. When you pause the movie and you exclaim, I sat there, I've been there, is anyone else in the room with you, or
No.
are you just commenting to yourself?
It's pretty much just me.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Could you get a bird, a dead bird, Petey, that you could at least talk to when you're commenting
bird.
about?
Yeah.
Bird. Yeah. It's like, yep, just me and Petey watching this movie Rushmore. So.
I was because I was talking to my coworker about whether an animal would be, because I'm single, but like I don't really have anybody to bounce ideas off of. So rather than just talk to myself, like I want to be able to talk to you guys, but it's weird for me to call in and just be like, hey, I just watched Short Circuit, and where they drove across Astoria, and number 5 flies off the bridge. I drove across that bridge once. Like nobody cares. Like you guys wouldn't respond to that.
Well, that would be appropriate, I think, for a text. I don't know that it requires a phone call.
Phone call worthy.
Yeah, I mean, everybody stop.
Yeah.
Did you know? Hey, I'm not watching the movie with you.
Right.
I don't know.
Unless I lived in Astoria and like it was notable that like every day I drove across this bridge. It was like, oh, driving across the Short Circuit bridge again, or hanging out where the Goonies came out of the wall, wherever now he spoiled the Goonies, but
Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, Kindergarten Cop. Now I'm up at the top of this. Why am I at the school? Because I'm doing a presentation on Billy Idol to the kindergartners or whatever.
Yeah. Wow.